clean, but we'll give that a clean out now. Okay, I'm just at this property and I've got to replace a plate heat exchanger on an ideal boiler, but guess what? It's in the attic. Who loves a boiler in the attic? Because I most certainly don't. But yeah, that's what we're doing here today. What makes it worse is there's no lighting up there, and the floorboards there's no floorboards either. Dealing with knowing I have to get a wet vac up there. Power lead, tools, all up here. That's what we're working in. Be a plumber, they said. It'll be fun. You'll make loads of money. Yeah. Okay. A few things I'm going to have to take out. Let's get them out. It's a good job it's an ideal, because ideals are not too bad to work on, you know. Didn't want to. What's it called? Okay, let's change the injector on this as well, so we'll do that first. we go again. Okay. Nothing there. Pull the rubbers out. So that was eventful, not the easiest of. Well, in fact, changing a plate heat exchanger, especially on an ideal, could probably be done in about half an hour. That took just over an hour to do, which was a bit of a headache. But there we are. We've charged a good amount for it, enough to cover our costs anyway, and make a little bit more on it. So I've got another boiler to go and fix now. But what I really need to try and do is get off the tools and work on the business by bringing in more business, but I'm only going to do this by taking on another engineer. So I'm hoping, if not this month, maybe next month, that I can potentially take on another engineer, someone who can pretty much replace me on the tools. You know, I will still be doing work, as in maybe boiler services, boiler breakdowns, that sort of stuff, but a lot, you know, maybe less of, and then whether it's 3 days on the tools, 2 days in the office, because I've got lots and lots of ideas. In fact, this week we've got 5,000 flyers going out to customers in and around the Cardiff area, so I'm hoping to get at least a couple of leads come back off that. I've also just got off the phone to a marketing agency. Now, if any of you watching this have your own business, especially in the trades industry, would you say it's worth it paying a marketing company to sort of, basically what she would she do an overall analysis of our business and our current business marketing, see where we're at, and then work with us to, you know, improve how we market the business, what, you know, things we do, how we stand out aside from the competition. But is it actually worth it? Because it is quite an outlay for this person every month as well, and that's not even including then any sort of marketing that I would need to run on top. And if you're a customer watching, this is where we're at when people sort of look at prices and things like that. We have to factor in, you know, marketing as an overhead. You know, if we don't market our business and we just keep sailing, then we're not really running as a business properly, because we're only just having enough work coming in to keep us, you know, ticking over, if you like, and it's not bringing in enough revenue then to allow us to grow. So the plan is for us to absolutely grow. So today I have an admin day, which is why I'm dressed in normal clothes. It's really strange actually being in normal work clothes, normal everyday clothes, although they're not every day. Anyway, today my plans is to go and visit some new estate agents and see if we can get a new estate agent onto our books. So in this video I will be showing you how I go about approaching an estate agent, the types of things that I might say, and the results that I may get. Also today, what I've done a little bit this morning, helped out going over some things, refunds and what have you, to do with the accounting. That all needed to be balanced up. There's a few things that needed to be checked through emails that Kelly couldn't quite do.
We've got Madison working on some promotions, some flyers and posters and things like that are going out onto our socials. And when I get back later, we're currently working on, I've paid our web developer to build us a boiler quoting tool. Now, we do already have this on our website. However, this new boiler quoting tool will be next level stuff. It will allow us to it'll allow the customer to obviously go through the journey of getting themselves a quote. It allows them to add on all extras like a magnet filter, inline strainer, or the chemicals flush, or a magnet cleanse flush, etc. What that then does is gets them to a final screen and allows us to take payment if they wanted to pay it there and then, or a deposit, and it books it all in with our CRM system. As you can imagine, this is quite a complex thing to get built in, and it requires me to go through lots of different variations of price scenarios. So that's something that I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I think it's not something that I particularly want to do, because sitting down for long periods of time focusing on that sort of stuff is a bit tedious. But nonetheless, if we want to grow, if we want the business to self-sufficiently run on its own, then it's something that I absolutely need to do.
Okay, so I've just pulled up now, not too far from one of the estate agents that I'm going to go in and approach. My approach when going into estate agents is always take a business card in with me, and I first of all ask for lettings manager or the maintenance manager, because what you do tend to find with estate agents is they'll have what we call like a gatekeeper, someone who is like a receptionist, and their job is to stop sales calls, if you like. Although I'm not selling anything, they do sometimes see someone like us as like, we're certainly not going to bring them profit or anything, are we? So I'll try and avoid the receptionist by saying I want to speak to the lettings manager, in which case then once I've got in front of a lettings manager, I'll then introduce myself, being as professional and as calm as I can be, and then I'll just explain that I'm the director of a plumbing and heating company in the local area, and just wondering if they have any needs for any more plumbing and heating contractors. Now, I also always say, look, I understand that you probably already use a plumbing and heating contractor, and we're not here to step on any toes, but it does benefit having more than one option, and not putting all your eggs in one basket. Always try to get their business card as well with the email address. Reason being, once you've got that, then once you get home, you can send them an email just to say, thanks for speaking earlier with me. Here's all my details, and you can send over all your insurances. Some of the larger estate agents will give you like a form to fill in, like an application form, and will request all your insurances, your gas safe, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that in a nutshell, that's it. Hopefully I can go in here now and nail it. Stay tuned, because when I come out, I will talk through exactly how the conversation went. Okay, so that one went really well. I don't think we'll get a huge amount of work out of it. They're quite a small estate agent. But what they did say was they were very responsive really early on. And they said, they already use 2 other plumbers for different sides of their portfolios they have within the business. And like I just said to you earlier in this video, I said, look, I'm not looking to step on anyone's toes. Understand that you'll have your favoured engineers. However, at times when things get really busy, we'll be there as a backup. And she was really responsive. She was asking what services we offer, what do we do all together. Told her, look, anything plumbing, gas, heating, etc., breakdowns, all that sort of stuff. So we went through, she was very interested to know exactly what it is we can do for them. Giving me her business card, exactly like I said in the previous video, which once I get home later now, I'll put together a really well constructed email. I send over attachments for our insurance, gas safe, and we do have like a template made for average costs for things like tap changes,
toilet inlet valves, all that sort of stuff, the regular things that you'd expect for an estate agent to experience things going wrong. So I'll send over a price list as well. Will we instantly start getting jobs from them? Maybe not, but what it does mean is now I've just gone in and showed my face, had a little interaction with them, that the next time something may go wrong and the other two guys are fully just cannot get away, because they did say that these other two guys, they had just one man in a van. They have no backup, so if one of those guys are stuck doing a boiler install and an emergency comes in for them, then they are really scratching. For the feeling I've got from what they said was they usually just call up any random plumber from a phone book. So fingers crossed we do pick up 1 or 2 jobs out of the back end of this, and that's where it begins really. You do 1 or 2 jobs, you do a really good job, really reliable, and you tend to find then more and more creep in. So that's how it starts. Give it a go. If you're just starting out in business and you struggle with things like this, honestly, it is scary the first time you ever walk into something like this and speak to people. But the more you do it, so it's just a numbers game. The first few times you do it, it's probably going to go horribly wrong. But the more you do it, the more confidence you get, and the more likelihood there is that you will get something from it. So there we go. That's 3 estate agents I visited today, all in the space of about 1 hour and a half. The last but one estate agent that I visited was really good, and I've done differently at different times when I've done this. So today I've gone out in quite smartly dressed, whereas before I've gone out in my actual uniform that's showing the branding and everything. Now I think the difference between dressed like this today has been the second estate agent I went into, the lettings office was upstairs, and they sometimes do that to separate members of the general public or tenants from being able to just walk in and just ear bash the lettings department. So the ground floor was sales. So as I walked in, I asked if I could see the lettings manager, and must have been the sales manager said, "Oh, she's not in, but would you like to speak to a lettings negotiator?" Now, had I probably been in, scruffy clothes, I may not have got that option. I said, yeah, that'd be great. She asked me to take a seat, and I was offered a coffee. Again, potentially being dressed like this, they may be thinking, he could be a landlord wanting to, bring a property to us. So my advice would be that maybe try out going out dressed. Be smart and presentable at the end of the day. That's, if you're looking scruffy, then it's going to give potential new clients of yours the impression that your work might be scruffy. The lady come down, we had a little chat. They do already use 2 other plumbing and heating companies. However, she was very susceptible to using us. She said that one of them is gas, the other one is not. So, they were asking prices on gas safeties and everything. So all in all, 3 estate agents visited. Are we going to get a huge amount of work out of them? Probably not. But if we send all our details over and get onto their systems, that could mean that on top of the other estate agents we've got, we'll have a good steady flow of work coming in. So, when things are quiet, and we haven't been particularly quiet, we're ticking over nicely, but it's always about keeping your finger on the pulse and not just sitting back and thinking, yeah, we're golden, everything's great, because before you know it, things go a bit quiet, and it's no good going out chasing that work when things have gone quiet. You need to be keeping the finger on that pulse constantly. Honestly, running a business is so much of a young person's game. You have to be charismatic. You have to wanna get out there and get it. It's no good just coast. Well, I mean, you can coast. It's absolutely fine. If you want to run your business just by coasting, you just get up every day, do a couple of jobs, go back home. That is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to build a business that is able to scale and grow, you have to be hungry and ready to get out there and do what other people are not willing to do. And if that means going knocking doors, going in to estate agents and visiting people, speaking to potential new clients. That is the only way people are going to get to know you. You know, I think we've got to a stage where people have started to hide behind the digital, the digital marketing side of things, where they think, oh, well, I've got a website out and I do a few posts on my social media. That's not enough. There's so many other companies and people doing that exact same thing. It's not enough. You have to be out there. I'm even considering getting a sales desk, like a table with roller banners, and like you go to superstores, supermarkets and things like that, and you've got the guys selling the bloody charity things and whatever. I'm even thinking about doing like a sales desk and approaching a few different supermarkets and doing like sales days where for today, whilst we're here, we'll give free advice. Again, being able to try and capture some customers' details to become potential customers. So yeah, I'm on my way back now to my office to do those prices. The days just run away with themselves. It's 1:30 now, and I'm probably not going to be left with many hours to get this pricing list completed, but at least if I can get a large chunk of it done, that'd be good. I could really do with more of these admin days to get more things like this done, but because there's only me and Harry, all the times that I'm not out on the tools installing or fitting, then that's things that are not getting billed for. So it's a very fine line, and a small business juggling I'm probably in one of the most difficult periods of running a business, between scaling up to the next level and being stuck at the level where you are just you're just comfortable. Oh, by the way, if you are getting value from these videos, please hit that subscribe button, give us a follow, and maybe even write something in the comments and let us know what content you may want us to talk about or release in the future. That would really help. Let us know what you're enjoying about the videos. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button now.